All right, hello everyone. In this video, let's continue our work with matrix operations. We've talked about how we can add and subtract two matrices, both by hand and doing that in R. Now I want to talk about how we can do some multiplication with matrices. And there are different ways that we can talk about multiplication. So first thing is I can multiply a scalar times a matrix. So again, remember scalars, that's just a word that we use for a single number. So things like 2, -5, square root of 17, these are all scalar values. So if I have some matrix A of any size, I'm able to multiply a matrix, any matrix by any scalar. That is going to be a defined operation. And the way that we define that operation is we just multiply every element of the matrix by the value of the scalar. So let's take a look at an example. So down below, we've got question 3. And here we're going to define a matrix A. So matrix A, we just arrange the integers 1 through 6 into 2 rows and 3 columns, arranging the values across the rows. So the first 3 values go across row 1, the next 3 across row 2, and that gives us the matrix 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And let's say this is asking us to calculate the value or calculate matrix 2A. So what would that look like? So what we do to calculate this matrix, the scalar multiplication is I would take 2 and multiply each of these elements by 2. So that means the result over here would be 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 3 is 6. And I just do this for every element in the matrix. I multiply 2 times 4 to give me 8. I multiply 2 times 5 to give me 10. And then 2 times 6 to give me 12. So this should be the result that I should expect. I get a matrix back that has the same size as the matrix I started with. Just every entry in that matrix is multiplied by 2. And the way that we can do this in R is I simply would take my scalar to use the regular old operation for multiplication and then enter the matrix A that I've already defined above. So if I run this code cell, I get exactly the matrix 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 as I predicted. And I just want to indicate how we can enter this into R is that we could just type these values into this text cell right here, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. And 12. So I just replaced those question marks in this LaTeX code over here, and you can see the matrix gets typeset over here. So if you want to type these matrices out, you can do so using LaTeX if you're familiar with how to do LaTeX. Otherwise, you can just write them out on paper. You don't need to type them up. But that's how we can multiply a scalar and a matrix. Multiplying two matrices together is a more complicated operation. We'll talk about that in the next video.